Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of How to Draw Cars. Today we're going to do something a little bit different in the sense that we're not going to draw any cars, but we're going to look at the relevancy of the information that's given out on the channel. I'm also going to have a special announcement for my subscribers regarding a new Introduction to Automotive Design course that's available on the Udemy platform. So recently, a car company called McLaren, you may know who they are, they have a Formula One team, as well as a road car division. They introduced a new version of their insane track car called the Senna. Now, the Senna is a pretty stunning piece, and you can leave some comments below about what you think about the Senna. We could talk about that. But what they did that was interesting was how they chose to introduce or show this new version of the Senna that they're going to do. Now, they could have used some beautiful imagery. Obviously, you could do beautiful photography. You could do interior photography. You could do exterior, track photography, since this is a track car pretty much. And what they did instead of all that glamorous stuff is they used a sketch. Now, not just any sketch, but a sketch very, very similar in style to the techniques that I demonstrate and try to teach here on the How to Draw Cars channel. So I thought I wanted to bring this to your attention. I wanted to show you that these techniques are not some abstract that you have to learn and then you forget or you're never going to use again. But here is a real-world professional automotive designer operating at the highest level, right? Everybody wants to do hypercars and supercars. And this is how McLaren chose to show off this new hypercar with, dare I say, a plain old sketch. Let's take a closer look. So the first thing you should notice is that it's a two-point perspective of a front three-quarter view. The second thing we'll look at is what we always talk about, line quality. Look at the quality of the lines that this designer has in the sketch. It's somewhat loose, it's a little bit cleaned up, but it still has a little bit of looseness, a little bit of edginess to it that makes it dynamic and gives it emotion. The next thing we want to look at is line weight, right? We talk a lot about line weight. I talk a lot about line weight. I can just see, looking at this right off the bat, you've got light lines, medium lines, dark lines, and extra dark lines, right? Or very dark lines. So there's 4 different line weights. You could probably pick out some more. If you count them up, leave a comment. Let me know how many different line weights you found. But you can see how this designer at McLaren is using line weight to tell the story of this design. Another thing you want to pay attention to is the fact that the car is sitting on the ground. There's a ground plane and a ground shadow that the designer has put in. As young designers, you might notice a lot of people don't put in a ground plane, but you want to include this, especially as you develop your own style and your own technique, just like this designer at McLaren did. Lastly, we're going to talk about shading. Now, there's 2 techniques that are being used here. One is an airbrush or a fade technique. He's using that in the upper and also on the front end. And then he's doing a 45-degree hash mark, which gives you a plane change, which adds depth, changes section, and this is very much the in vogue way to do this currently. So the next thing I want to talk about is the new course on Udemy. It's called the Introduction to Automotive Design. It covers a lot of the similar things that I've done on my YouTube channel here, but it's a lot more in depth. And what I want to do is I wanted to ask you guys, what is the best way to sort of distribute some free passes to the course? I want to give back to my subscribers, and I've got folks that live in Europe. I've got students or followers or subscribers that live in the United States and Canada and Mexico and Brazil. And then there's a lot that are in India or in Asia. And so I want to be able to give out some free passes to the course, but I want to do it in a fair way. So if you have any ideas about how to do that, we're dealing with 3 different time zones around the world. That's the challenge. How to do that in a fair and equitable way so everybody gets a shot at getting a free pass to the course, then let me know. Leave a comment. If you like this kind of video where I'm talking about what's going on in the world of automotive design and what other designers, professional designers are doing, let me know that as well if you think we should do some more of these. And we will be getting back to doing some demonstrations, some tutorials shortly. As always, thanks for watching.